Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I just got back from the Dragonball Super North American Nationals, and holy shit. First and foremost, I want to say it was an amazing event. I actually went with my little brother and a bunch of guys that he knows from his locals in Minnesota, who happen to be some of the better players that I know, and a couple of them even got into the top 32, which was amazing. Shout out to everyone that I went with. Dane, Javier, Matt, Haseo, Jake, Grant. I know I'm forgetting some people. I'm still kind of recovering from that huge event. Saturday was absolutely insane. I've never had a more mentally taxing event in my entire life. We started playing cards about 10:30. Around 10:30 was round one. And we didn't get done playing cards, like leaving the event after 9 rounds, until about 12:30 a.m. the next day. It was about 14 hours of card playing, and by the end of it, I want to say by round 7, I was having trouble seeing clearly and forming coherent sentences. I think that's the right word. It was nuts. The only thing I can really say that the event did poorly was to make sure that not everyone had access to water and food during the event. Yeah, there were drinking fountains, but I mean, first and foremost, they were not that great. But the concession stand was only open till about maybe 2 o'clock. I heard that for the most part, it was only open for about 3 hours on Saturday and about 3 hours on Sunday, which is absolutely insane for an event that's 9 rounds, 1 hour per round, not to mention the amount of time you need between rounds to get everything set up. I just think that was very bad, very bad decision on the tournament's part to not have a dedicated concession stand or like food vendors, someone to like take care, offering free water bottles to everyone. Shout out Eggman, who gave me a bottle of water. That was fantastic. I really appreciate that, man. I know some people actually dropped out of the event solely due to fatigue. They couldn't keep playing. Overall, though, I went 4 wins, 5 losses with Gamma for my main deck on Saturday. And for the most part, I really enjoyed this build. I had a lot of fun. Honestly, only 1 round of 1 match can I say that this deck honestly performed awfully. If that's even the right way to say that. I just want to go over it with you real quickly here. The MVP of the deck for me had been the Gohan editions. The Gohan rares here were absolutely amazing. I loved it. It helped me against my Gamma and Gogeta matches, as well as any type of aggro deck. It was amazing. I really want to get a foil set of this card, but apparently it is just ridiculously hard to get foil copies of this card anywhere in that at the tournament. And my local scene here, they also ran out, so that was intense. The unison, standard unison for the deck was really cool, but Black Smoke Dragon kind of effed me a few times, so it definitely put in the work. I still think it's the best unison for the deck, but I did hear that one of the guys who did play Gamma and piloted into the top 32 did use Hit Unison, which I thought about using. But anyway, 2 Android 14 Floodgates. I've always had this card be counterplayed or countered, so I didn't want to run more than 2. I think 2 is fine. I didn't really ever get to a point where man, I really wish I had a 3rd Android 14. 3 copies of the 9-drop Cell put in work, won me a game because an opponent forgot that I could play Cell for my energy and that he also was a dual attacker. So shout out, that was still a really good game. 4 copies of the Searcher came in clutch all the time. 17 put in the work. 2 copies of 18 as for your own crit, because I actually surprisingly did a lot of crit in this deck, which was really cool. The dual attackers, which I'll get to in a second, helped me win one of my matches. 3 Dirty Bursts, because you had to run the 3 Dirty Bursts against the Sin and Gogeta matchups, but it also helped against Vegito, Gogeta, and any big cards. It helps so much. 2 Chilled Army, solid defense. These did not do as well, the Beerus Destroys, as they didn't do as well as I was hoping they would. A lot of people who play Gogeta and Sin essentially know that it's coming, so they've learned to play around it. Still a solid card for defensive and letting me draw one. The Android 18 Let the Battle Begin came in clutch against Broly Crown. We'll get to that later. Android 8 for the super combo, I just felt like I needed something that I can constantly draw or search for. Lets me draw one. I can play it in my energy and pick it back up later without having to worry about energy exhaust. One SPR copy of the new dual energy Android 17-18 super combo came in clutch to untap multicolored energy. Android 19 was amazing. A solid one cost, hard negate. I don't think it was ever counterplayed, at least that I can remember. But it really came in clutch in those matches, and I'm really glad I put that in instead of running 4 of the Android 14s. 2D Magic definitely came in handy. I'm glad I put that in last second. The Gamma, once again, just a one cost draw one, swing 20k crit later on. Fantastic card. I ran one copy of the Searcher Android 18 just because, you know, if I really needed to find like this Searcher or like a Floodgate or a super combo, something like that, it was super cool to just drop one. Really enjoyed that card. I tried to add more than just the one, but like I wanted to keep this deck as low as I possibly could. Broly, love Broly, came in clutch. Great card to get rid of a token negate. Token blocker. Gohan was the champ. This card, almost every blue player that was playing Gamma played this SCR instead of Baby Hatch for good reason. It's a board wipe. It's a 40k dual attack crit essentially. It was amazing. I love this card. Unfortunately, the price of the card is still pretty damn high. I borrowed my friend Derek's. Shout out Derek for helping me build this deck. And it was, I need to own this. It needs to be in the collection. And finally, like a last minute addition was the Great Ape Goku. Just because I realized later on against blue mirror matches, I really needed a way to draw more cards, and this really did help. I didn't have any problems with my board getting, my energy getting bricked, but those are the risks you gotta take with this, and it was worth it. The Z deck. One copy of Beerus Area Annihilator, put in work against yellow decks that I played. I played against a Golden Frieza and a Trunks Vegeta. Card absolutely won me those games. One Cell for board removal. Never got to eat more than 3 cards, so I couldn't use a triple strike, but you gotta run it. Vegito, great card. Unfortunately, I was an idiot, and I forgot that you can't use Gogeta's blocker after you take 3 androids and re-put down 3 androids in your energy, and that lost me one of my games. But, you know, still solid card. This was essentially for Bunison, and I never got a chance to use it because a lot of points I never had the 2 green energy to tap, but essentially it was going to be for getting rid of Bunisons. But I still think it's a good card to run in Gamma. This card, hold on, before we get there, this card was, you know, just in case I needed it. Never really needed it though. It was super easy to get to the life I needed in Awaken. This card, combining this card against Sin and Gogeta players with their big hands, combining with the my Android 17-18 dual attacker was amazing. I remember swinging with my dual attacker. He said no negates, and he didn't have a lot of cards in hand. And I'm like, cool, drop Goku, give him 10k and triple strike. And he's like, wait, what? He totally forgot that he can do it, and I was able to combo just enough to win. It was awesome. I love that card. Side deck was really weird, but quickly it was just Super Saiyan Trunks God Sealing. Played it once against Vegito. It was okay. An extra Dirty Burst, Sensu Bean for the aggression decks, Kami Global Unifier, sided these in for wide yellow boards. Worth it. It was awesome. An additional Great Ape for a draw, 2 Protector of the People for more aggro builds, Borgos for the blue matchups. I originally had the Gohans in the main board, but then I decided to swap them out for the 2 Great Apes. Gohan was solid for a game when after an opponent just dropped their entire hand to go in, and I just played him for 3 and just made him bottom deck the card. It was awesome. I really love this card. I think going forward, I would have to put it in the main board, though, at least 1 copy. And then finally, Turning the Tide, because in case those long blue mirror matches, I want to have a way to wipe them. But anyway, I ended up getting, like I said, going 4 wins, 5 losses, very close games. My first round, and I'm gonna try to remember these the best I can. First round against was Red Vegito. Went to game 3, close win. But sorry, he won. It was super close, but super good guy. Round 2 was Gogeta. I got my face pushed in. Round 3, I believe, was the Gamma mirror match. I lost that, so it I didn't feel great going, 3 losses right off the bat. Round 4 was Announcer, I believe, and I was able to win against that. Then I played Sin, lost against that. Played Golden Frieza, won against that. Played Trunks Vegeta, won against that. And then I played Vegito again, which felt really symbolic. It was the first deck I played at Nats, and I barely won that. I believe, if I did the math in my head right. But solid, amazing games. It was super fun. I placed overall 300th out of 520, I believe, was the total. And it was just an amazing experience. But let me show you the deck that I played Sunday for Z Cup. All right, so the deck that I played on Sunday for the Z Cup event was Sun Gohan, Former Glory Regained, the new superhero leader, and I absolutely love this deck. I originally was going to play Ape Coup Reboot, but then my buddy Derek and my group chat basically were like, just play Gohan. Just do it. You're not going to win the event. Just have fun, play something new. And I was like, screw it. You know what? I'll try it. And I don't regret it. It was amazing. I went 4-4, and the matches I lost were incredibly close. It was such a fun deck. The whole point of this deck, being you only have 3 energy to work with, but constantly you're on tapping, playing new things, drawing cards, and this is a deck I just threw together real quick with the cards I had available. Of course, 2 copies of the Gohan Power Acclaimed, the 4 Gohan Floodgates. Piccolo the Infiltrator is insane, and the fact that card went from like $4 each to about $20 each after Nationals is insane. It's a solid card, though. It's a 2-cost, play a 20k dual attacker, and then play a Pan. It's awesome, and you draw a card off Pan. The deck has so much synergy to it. My first round was against Sin, against my buddy Kyle. Very close match, but he ended up squeaking out the win. Second match, oh god, these were all so quick, it's hard to remember exactly what I played against. Second match was Magenta, and I felt so awful because I'm like, Magenta is Magenta is a great matchup actually for this build, because it constantly makes me discard cards, but I'm like, cool, redraw 3 off my leader ability, like redraw up to 3, so it just never really was that big of a problem. So I won that. I played at least two mirror matches with Gohan. I won one of them, lost the other. One of them was my last match, and I'll get to. Play against 2 Gogetas, and I want to say, oh god, what else did I play against? That weekend's such a crazy one, but shout out to my brother for kind of helping me build some of this. The Gohans, 19k dual attack. If there's a Pan on your opponent's board, which you give this Pan to your opponent. The Vegetas were solid. Like this whole deck. The only thing I'd probably change though is I might remove these just because my last game was against another Gohan player, and unfortunately, when it comes to this game, and a lot of different matchups in this game, it all comes down to who goes first. And unfortunately, he went first. And shout out to him though; he was a super nice guy. And he had a slightly different build than I did. He didn't have the these Vegetas. He had the Crit Goku instead, which I think I might swap to. He didn't run any of these, didn't have a Champa, anything like that. So essentially, we got to a point, we both had our secret rares in our hands, opening hand, and he was able to play his first, and just put too much pressure on me after, on turn 2, putting me in the Gohan floodgate, so I couldn't do anything back to him. And it got to the point where I couldn't combo out of it, because in my hand, I had my secret rare and my 2 dual attackers, and because I had no open energy left, I couldn't combo them. I couldn't redraw up to 3 because I had exactly 3 cards in my hand, and unfortunately that pushed me under. Super close game. I really enjoyed it. This deck, if the things I changed, like I said, probably swap these out for the crits, because applying crit pressure is very, very good. Add up to 4 Rose Goku Blacks. This card is cracked. Love it. Shin, I wouldn't put in the main board. I love the Bardock Awakening Instincts as the super combo, though. I might take these out, might take a Champa out. The Shu Deluge of Power was amazing last second add because I completely forgot it existed. But the deck was just amazing. I wish Senzu Bean was an errata, because this deck would absolutely be, I would feel like #1 in the format if it wasn't for that. But so good. My Z deck, 1 Beerus, 2 Stronger Together Son Goku, 2 Vegeta Stronger Together. This card was like the main Z battle card that I would play. And it just lets you swing, combo with a 5k, helps you restand your energy a lot better, and just help build up Z energy. Now this card, well, of course you run a cell because you gotta run cell. This card won me a game. My buddy Derek was like, just run this card. Don't be a bitch, run this card. But real talk, this card is literally a 1-cost 15k attacker, because you have so much Z energy. 3 Z energy is not going to be a big deal late game. And its ability, activate main. If your leader is mono blue and you discard 1 extra card from your hand, draw a card, and this card gains crit. If I only have 1 extra card in my hand and I need more combo fodder, I'll just pitch it, give him that crit, and draw a new card. And that helped me win one of my matches by pumping him up to about 55k for the final swing. And I remember messaging Derek, and I was like, dude, this card won me my game. I freaking love you. And it was a really cool moment. And talking with the other Gohan players, they also were like, yeah, that actually makes a whole lot of sense. And, they were going to start teching this card in their sideboard. But it was a best of 1, so it was no side deck, but holy crap. Nats was amazing. I met so many cool people there. Almost everyone that I played with was super friendly, and we were joking around with all of our games, having fun. I never felt bad for losing. I genuinely just I played the best I could, and I was playing against some of the best players in the whole nation. I met Chris Spencer from Universe X DBS, great guy. Met Giancarlo, Eggman. I met him in person finally after playing him in a webcam event a year or so ago. Got a sticker from him. Thanks, man. And seeing a lot of people like the Super Playas, Cross Worlds. It was just such a cool moment, and just a cool event seeing all these people that I've seen on YouTube and all these other people that love this game as much as I do, if not more. I did feel bad with some people I played against. I could just tell they were not having the best time, and am I the only one who gets a little who gets upset if I beat someone and I can just tell they're really down about it? I get it. You travel. I don't know. Maybe not the case for everyone, but so many people travel hundreds of miles, spend hundreds of dollars, sometimes more than $1,000 to get here, and then just to lose repeatedly. That must suck. And I really hope that it doesn't stop them from playing this game and wanting to be better players, because this weekend really made me want to be a better player, and I cannot wait to build new decks. Because but for a while I think I'm going to build fun decks. I'm actually going to be building a Fat Gotenks deck, just for fun, and it was an amazing event. Honestly, I give it probably an 8 out of 10. The only thing I would say for the future, I'm gonna stop itching my nose, I don't know what's going on there, have a dedicated food vendor. Like, you can't expect people to play 9 rounds straight, no lunch break. So yeah, no dinner break, no lunch break, no nothing, and not feed them, not make sure there's water. We're in Florida, in a room that just feels stuffy as all hell, and it was, we were starving. I had never felt the type of hunger that I did that night. We left. We tried to order food from any place that was open, because we couldn't drive anywhere, and we had orders that kept getting canceled on us. So eventually we found one that went through, and we just pounded that food so quickly. But it was amazing. It was a great experience. Got to go there with my brother, who I've been playing card games with since we were kids, and it was a great weekend. You know, it really was. I'm hoping, though, with everything that happened this year, and I'll do another video on that, but everything that happened this year with like the decks that won and the cards that were like being played, I'm very excited to see what they do for the next ban list. But anyway, that's all I got for you. Just wanted to tell you a little bit about my experience at Dragon Ball Super North American Nationals. Oh yeah, I forgot. I got 91st place on the Sunday event. I went 4 and 4 with this deck. 91st place. Felt great. But anyway, thank you guys so much for checking this out. If you haven't yet, please like the video, subscribe if you haven't. I'm on my way to trying to get to 500 subs, so help a guy out. I really appreciate it. Until the next video, take care.